did it again, up before 5 in the morning. So coffee's done. I'm shooting something unrelated to this, but I wanted to show you how it went yesterday with my running. So here's that awesome running footage, like 10 seconds of it. This is what we ended up running. So now let me tell you my skateboarding story. And this is just to prove today's theme, which is that you can do almost anything you want if you set your mind to it. I have never skateboarded in my life. When I was around 7 years old, my grandfather got me a little skateboard. This was back in the 80s. And all I used it was to lay on top of it and kind of luge around the house and bounce from wall to wall. And that was it. My next experience with a skateboard was about 5 years ago, when one of my kids asked if they could have one for their birthday. So I went to Walmart and got them the Walmart version, and I told them, hey, here's your skateboard. If you get good at it, if you practice, if whatever, we'll talk about getting a more expensive one. Or buy the components and build our own. That was the other thing. I never touched a skateboard until earlier this summer. So while this time goes by, I've always admired skateboarders. I think it's awesome. The footage that I get on some of my Instagram feed and some of my videos on Facebook of people jumping and doing tricks on skateboards has always blown my mind. And I said, maybe I want to learn how to at least jump with a skateboard. My kids laughed. My wife said you shouldn't, said you're 43, you're never been on a skateboard, and you're out of shape. You'll break your butt, basically. My kids just kind of laughed and said, yeah, Dad, whatever, right? So I set my mind to it. So one Sunday afternoon, after scouring YouTube about that technique and then replaying it in my head, similar to like a visualization, so I was imagining how I would do the jump based on what they taught. Then I took the skateboard outside and I did just a few practice movements. I repeated them for about a half hour, and then I was ready for my jump. And I called the kids out and my wife and I said, okay, let's do this. So here comes the big moment. Boom, I do my attempt. And the kids just laugh and they say, yeah, whatever. And my wife was like, oh, good, I'm glad you're done with that, honey. Let's go back inside. Let's go, watch some TV or something. So, according to them, I didn't jump. According to me, I did. I couldn't tell because it was very fast. Fortunately, I had this guy, my iPhone, which has great slow motion footage, great slow motion camera. We'll do a separate episode about shooting on slow motion with the iPhone, but let me tell you that that's one of the best cameras for that. So I had placed that hidden behind the car where I jumped, where I attempted to jump. And I went and checked the footage, and this is what we saw. I'll let you judge for yourself. Here it is. So did you see that? I actually jumped and got it up in the air. You can see the air, not that much, but a little bit. And better yet, I landed on it and didn't break my butt. So I showed that to my kids and wife, and they were pretty amazed. And they said, oh, that is so cool. I'm glad you did it. They were very excited and said, that is the coolest thing. I don't know how you learned it in one afternoon. And I told them, I try to make a lesson for my kids. Well, you can do anything you want, almost, if you set your mind to it. And that's how we started monstertutorials.com, which is my other channel where I teach people how to make Halloween related stuff, right? But I wanted to do what I said to do, was to build a channel in which I could show people how to make stuff. I wanted to learn how to do it myself, and the best way to learn, I've said it before, I've read it, is to teach it. So I set up a channel and I did it. And I published on the second year, which was last year, about 26 videos. When I added the time that I spent on monster tutorials, developing the channel, doing the videos, editing, getting the materials and all that stuff, I spent an average of about 1 hour per week. That's nothing. And the channel went from 140 subscribers to 1,812 when we closed the year a few days ago. So there was some magic sauce there, and that's why I'm exploring it here on this channel. Additionally to that, now that we're waking up at 4:45 is one of our resolutions. The running is unrelated, except that it'll make us healthy, but I'm waking up at 4:45 and I have 2 hours every single day, 5 days a week, right? So we're going from 1 hour a week for tutorials and for this channel to about 10 hours a week. So we should be able to explode this out of the water. So that's my show for today. What do you want? So that's my quick show for today. That's all I have. I'm not running today. I'll be running tomorrow. I'll be waking up early tomorrow again. I gotta keep working on some of my tutorials. I am going to leave you with that awesome skateboard footage once again. Here you go.